I would say absolute relief, but it's not over. I've saved, but I have to return to the Lost Library and make sure that none of those fire elements were distinguished. Okay, if everything's okay, then all I'll do is reload. I'm just here to make sure that none of those fire elements were distinguished. I need to make sure that they're all still alive. There's 4. The one that was spawned after the servant puzzle, the one who was spawned when I got that mandatory item, and the other 2 that spawned when I came here. Now please, that's 3 there and 1 there, that's 4, right? Tell me that's 4. 1, 3, that's 4, that is 4, that's definitely 4. Yeah, that is 4, I can see that, that is 4. Absolutely brilliant. With that in mind, we crack on with the level. Every fire element was alive. Okay, now I need to explain the previous video because there was no commentary, but there couldn't have been. There could not have been commentary for that. Basically, the servant puzzle, if you start with a servant and then go clockwise, you end up completing the puzzle. And the one that you finish on will be the one just before the one that you started on. And there was one that I specifically wanted to finish on, and so there was one that I specifically started on, because the one that I finished on, I was then able to basically just run straight, and then just jump up, jump sideways, jump up, grab, pull myself up, and do that bit quite easily. Unfortunately, it only made that bit easier, it did not make the rest of it easier. But that's basically why I did that particular order with the puzzle, and the fire element on my version was unfortunately unavoidable. I tried several different things, no joy. So that was unfortunate, and very annoying. Now you notice that I caught fire an awful lot, and that's because I wanted to show you the true ferocity of the level. I wanted to show you truly what it's like. That's why I showed you every failed attempt. I wanted you to see what the level is like. And obviously, so that it didn't drag on for too long, I skipped out the deaths and the reloading sequence and just showed you myself catching fire, and then it was straight on to another attempt. I didn't want it to go on for too ridiculously long. And you'll see that there were bits where I caught fire stupid amount of times, and bits where I caught fire less, and bits where I caught fire not at all, such as when climbing the ladder to get the secret, opening the first 2 doors, going through the crawl space in the lion's mouth, etc. But please do not be fooled into thinking that those bits were any easier than the bits I failed miserably at. They were all as hard as each other. The bits where I did better on, I just got incredibly lucky. The bits where I failed miserably, that was the truth. That is how the level is. And obviously, I had to get the doors open because one of them led to where you place down the music stroll, one of them led to a mandatory item, and one of them led to the lion, basically where the lion's mouth, whatever, where the secret is, etc, etc. And one of them I actually didn't need to open, and it was annoyingly the one that I failed the most on, but I decided to open it anyway. I didn't need to. But I'm just coming down here. You saw I had 52 secrets, and I should now have 53 because I believe this does count as a secret. This is the secret I mentioned in a previous part. Check statistics. Brilliant. 53. That is all the secrets. Good. That is what I wanted. I've got both items. I'm going to save. Though I'm actually going to carry on, even though this isn't technically a different level now. As you can see, I made the most of the flash grenade and used it on those guys. Obviously to stun them without taking too much health and without killing them. Right, I've switched off and reloaded, but still got 53 secrets. Great, and now just to do some looting. This isn't actually the level anymore, but I'm just going to carry on anyway and end when I enter the next level. So yeah, about that door, there was that door that I didn't actually need to open, and I was aware of it, but I chose to open it anyway, because just in case the room that it leads to, it's possible to enter that room after climbing the rope, in the lion's mouth, whatever, and I just did it for safety, really, just in case that I ended up going through the other way, and then if I did, then the door would be open anyway, because when you go through to that place where the mandatory item is, that spawns another fire element, and I didn't want to then have to get the door open with another element on me. So yeah, just got to do some collecting. Actually, no, I made a mistake. Actually, I'm thinking of the wrong door. No, that door did not lead to the mandatory item. It led to where the ground was that I had to set fire to. I have a feeling that I think apparently it's possible to get trapped in there or something. I'm not sure, but I just made sure that door was open just in case, because I did not want anything to backfire. So obviously I got those doors open. I then went to basically where the lion statue thing, climbed the ladder for the secret, pulled that switch, did all that various stuff through the crawl space, where I'm amazed I did not catch fire. I'm amazed I never caught fire while climbing the ladder where it took me to the third secret. I'm amazed I never caught fire when doing the first two doors. But then there was the rope, where in order to do it, you have to sort of climb and then pull back down. And obviously you saw me do it, although I failed a lot of times. And as for the doors, well, you saw how frustrating they were, because of all the different various techniques that I tried pulling off and how unsuccessful I was most of the time. So eventually I managed to get the music stroll completely unharmed, and I managed to avoid the fire element, and I made sure that I didn't pick up that mandatory item until the very last, because that causes a second fire element to spawn, and the last thing I wanted was to do everything else with a fire element, with two fire elements on me. That's why I made sure that that item was last. I managed to not spawn that second fire element until much later on. And obviously when using the music stroll, I don't think it's possible to not catch fire, hence why I caught fire but carried on and repeatedly used health packs. I then went into that place that spawns a further 2 fire elements. Then I had 4 fire elements on me, and I managed to pop health packs until getting to the shallow water, and then managed to put the fire out by jumping into the shallow water. And I used the shallow water because the shallow water, to the best of my knowledge, can't kill the fire elements, only the deep water can. That's what I managed to do, but I had to return just to be absolute sure that the fire elements were okay, and they were. And obviously I didn't go till that room later on, because it spawns another 2 fire elements. I did not want to have those 2 additional fire elements on me. Statistics again, 53, good. This is the new level. Yeah, obviously I made sure that I only had that 1 fire element on me for as long as I only could have 1 on me. I didn't want to do anything that got the other 1 or the other 2 total into a maximum potential of 4. I did not want to do anything with that many elements on me. I kept it to a minimum to the best of my ability.